In Illinois in the 7th after 6.5. Illinois 6, New Ulm 4. New Ulm coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing in the ball game 6-4. Barrington, Illinois scored once in the first, once in the second to take a 2-0 lead. New Ulm tied it in the bottom of the 4th at 2-all. New Ulm then took the lead after 5 with a single run in the home half of the 5th inning. Barrington, Illinois scored 4 in the top of the 6th to grab a 6-3 lead. New Ulm executed the delayed double steal to get 1 run back in the bottom of the 6th. It is 6-4. New Ulm now coming to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Aaron Allen, Scott Schmidt, and Marshall Bloomer.
Let's see what Allen would have done had they let him swing away.
The pitch from Faith, who's gone all the way, bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Scores today, in case you missed it, New Ulm, they came back to complete the suspended game at 9:30 this morning, and New Ulm beat Midland, Michigan by the score of 3-2 in a winner's bracket game as the pitch is swung on and punched foul outside of first, 1-1. Then in a loser's bracket game, it was Oconomowoc, Wisconsin 10, State College, Pennsylvania 8. Another loser's bracket game found Midland, Michigan saying goodbye to Maynard, Ohio 10-5. So tomorrow you'll have the loser of this game against Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. The winner will meet Midland unless it is New Ulm, and there will have to be some juggling done then. The pitch is outside to Aaron Allen, 2 balls, 1 strike. Outfield straight away. And the pitch. Oh, he fouled the high fastball to the screen, 2-2.
14-24 just went to the bullpen for Barrington, and 3 is down there.
Bob Bobian would be the right-hander, and he would be joined down there. Well, I don't see a 24. Pitch is swung on and grounded sharply towards second. And Legasholt throws him out, 4-3. There's 1 down. I don't have a 24, Jim.
I don't either, but that was the number.
Well, I don't know. My roster does not show a 24. So anyway, we know we've got activity down there anyway. Here is Scott Schmidt. And the pitch is low and bouncing in front of Doug Wilson for ball 1. Schmidt is grounded to second, singled and scored, and walked. So he's been up twice officially. And he swings and hits one into right field, a lazy fly ball, long run for the right fielder, but getting there to make the catch is John Bowser, and there is 2 down.
That fooled me, Mark. I thought that was well hit.
Well, he got it off the end of the bat. Schmidt, by the way, will attend Mankato State. Marshall Bloomer there already, working out with the football team. Bloomer in the batter's box now with 2 out, nobody on in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And boy, Faith has, it looked like really that he probably wouldn't be around in the 7th inning, but he has really settled down, and they've gotten him some runs, and he's got a 2-run lead with 2 out here in the 7th inning and disposed of New Ulm's 3rd and 4th hitters rather easily. Pitch to Bloomer, outside for a ball. Well, Bloomer is grounded to third, doubled and scored, and laid down an excellent sacrifice his last time. And the pitch on the way is just off the corner, 2-0.
I keep repeating this, but I'm just amazed at the length that coaches have left their starters in.
Well, right now he looks like a genius, and the pitch is high. It is 3-0. Well, they're pretty much in the same boat. You want to try and save your pitching as long as you can. And the pitch is a high fastball that is ruled a strike, 3-1.
Seems to be getting his 2nd win, Faith, pitcher.
Either that or smelling a victory here in the 7th inning. And the pitch, way outside, ball 4, and Bloomer works him for a walk. And New Ulm will have a base runner, 7th walk off of Faith. And the tying run comes to the plate in the person of Russ Trowig. 6-4. Barrington, Illinois leading New Ulm with 2 on in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bloomer on at first, and the pitch is inside for a ball. I don't recall seeing Faith throw to first tonight.
No, he has not moved to first base one time that I can remember.
Do you find that unusual?
Yes, I do, because we coached
Pitch
that,
is swung on and grounded towards short, gobbled up by Levin, who will go the short way to the second baseman, Legasholt, to force Bloomer. 6-4. And that'll take care of New Ulm in the seventh. They leave one, and at the end of 7 innings, it is Barrington, Illinois 6 and New Ulm 4.
Noreen, the third baseman who relieved in the ball game against Economollock last night, has also gone out to the bullpen.
Well, here we go to the top half of inning number 8. Barrington, Illinois will use Jim Evinger, the first baseman, Carmen Trenelone and Peter Faith, the scheduled hitters, and Stoll on in relief. Delivers a strike call to Evinger, who bluffed a drag bunt. Evinger has reached on an air and scored, struck out, tripled and scored, and he's got an RBI. Ground ball that hits Bloomer up high. He'll throw to Stoll covering 3-1. That'll take care of Evinger, 1 out. I show 7 hits tonight for Barrington, unofficially. They've got 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. And they have stranded a total of 5 men. And Trenelone picks on the first pitch and grounds it foul outside of third. It is 1 strike to him. New Ulm, on the other hand, has 6 hits. They have left 8, but they've committed 3 errors. Stoll kicks and throws, and here's a chopper towards short, charged by Schmidt. Here's the throw, and it bounces in front of Marshall Bloomer. And I would think they'd have to give him a hit on that. That was a very difficult play. They'll give him a base hit. So Carmen Trenelone with an infield hit. Schmidt playing very deep at short. Really didn't have much of a chance at getting him.
He couldn't get enough on the throw because he fielded off the right foot and got rid of it quickly, but just didn't have the foot set so that he could get some arm strength into that.
Well, here's the pitcher, Pete Faith, who squares around to bunt, missed it, and it is ruled a strike. Allen all ready to throw to first base behind Trenelone.
If that lightning that we're seeing gets much closer here, it would not be a surprise to have this ball game called because of that.
And the bunt attempt is ruled a strike as Faith missed it again, and it is 0-2.
The light towers and the aluminum bats are good conductors of electricity.
Throw to first by Chad Stoll. And diving back in is Carmen Trenelone. 1 on, 1 man out, and the pitch is delivered low, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He squared around as if to bunt there, and he apparently is going to go all the way. The coach is saying, get that job done, get that man moved up.
He has struck out twice and laid down his sacrifices last time up. And he swings and fouls it off, and it's 1-2. And he almost nailed the batter, Kurt Legasholt, in the on-deck circle. Of course, a play like that happened in the major leagues here not too long ago, and I believe that Butch Weiniger was hit for the New York Yankees, kneeling in the on-deck circle off the bat of Willie Randolph at that particular time.
He caused Legasholt to just move from where he was down to the other end of the dugout.
Strike 3 called. For the 3rd time tonight, Faith is down on strikes, 2 down. Number 1 for Stoll since entering the game with 2 out in the 6th inning.
Number 2, Kurt Legasholt.
Now the number 9 man, Kurt Legasholt, who has got a double and a single. He is grounded out. Still on at first base is Trenelone. Here's a ground ball over the middle. It takes a bad hop, hits Schmidt's glove, and goes into center field. It'll be a base hit. Schmidt was over there in plenty of time, but the ball just came up, and it'll be ruled a base hit. It got into center field. Trenelone, who is bothered by that knee injury, will stop at second base. And the number 9 man in the batting order, Legasholt, is 3 for 4.
You know, we have seen in this tournament so many things happen with 2 out.
Yep, you're absolutely right. First pitch to Levin, the leadoff man, has ruled the ball. Runners at first and second with 2 out. Pickoff move on, and diving back in is the base runner, Trenelone. New Ulm with a 6-4 deficit to make up here. Barrington, Illinois trying to add to it with 2 out in the top of the 8th inning. And the pitch on the way. A hook that's in for a strike. Nice pitch by Stoll. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. And the lightning continues to light up the skies here. Pitch is swung on, grounded through the hole, a base hit. They're going to wave Trot alone. Trowig falls down. The ball gets by him, and all hands will move up a base to second and third. It is now 7-4. Give Levin a base hit, and that will be his third hit of the evening, and he picks up RBI number 52.
I think one of the things that you're seeing, too, is that it has been very wet in the outfield the last couple of days, and people walking on it, coming back and forth to and from the dugout, have kind of made it rough, and it's been difficult for an outfielder to get a true bounce, and, of course, it's been too wet to roll it.
7-4 now, and John Bowser comes up, and, of course, most of this activity happening with 2 outs, and the pitch is high. And it is ball 2. Bowser tonight has grounded out twice and struck out. Stoll kicks and throws. Ground ball right side. Brian Robbie plays the hop and throws him out. And that will take Barrington out of the inning in the 8th inning. But they come up with a big, big run for this late stage of the game. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. And they leave 2. And at the end of 7.5, it is Barrington, Illinois 6 and New Ulm 4. They said a moment ago by Mitch Levin, the ball getting by Trowig. They are going to give Russ an error on that play. So that is the 4th error for New Ulm, and your summary in the inning should read a run on 3 hits, 1 error, 2 men left. And the run in that inning is earned, and so New Ulm now comes to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and instead of trailing by 2, they need 3 to tie it. It is 7-4, and the bottom third of the order due up here to face Pete Faith, Keith Winschittle, Todd Paff, and Jim Leslie. Winschittle has walked twice and reached on a fielder's choice. Where's number 16? If New Ulm would lose this game, they would face Oconomowoc, Wisconsin tomorrow. And the pitch on the way is in for a strike. New Ulm has had their chances tonight. They've left 8 men on. They've had base runners virtually every inning. And the pitch bouncing in front of the catcher, Dan Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike. The only inning in which they didn't, I believe, would have been the 3rd inning, but they hadn't had a base runner. 1-1 to Winschittle. Swing and a miss. A weak swing at an off-speed pitch outside. It is 1-2.
Wilson is going to need the trainer this evening, plus a bottle of rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, he's going to have bruises in places he never thought he had places. The pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, Joe Garagiola once made an interesting point regarding catchers, and I'll get to that in a minute. 2-2 as the pitch is high. It's 3-2. He said you can tell when a major league catcher has been around a long time. He says if you ever shake hands with him, it's like shaking hands with a bag of marbles. And that lets you know. 3-2. Pitch is low, ball 4. New Ulm with a leadoff man on.
Angelo Giuliani showed me the fingers on his throwing hand and his catching hand the other night, and he had, I think, virtually every knuckle that was bulged and had been broken at one time or other.
Well, Garagiola says your hand can look like a weather vane. Well, here comes Kirby Smith. And, boy, I'll tell you what, Smith, he's taking his time getting to the mound. He goes any slower, he may need a golf cart to get out there. And he is going to visit with everyone. He's just reminding them that it is the 8th inning. They've gotten themselves a 3-run lead. And I think the umpire, Ty Cayley, is coming out to make sure they don't start passing out punch. They're going to stay with him.
Well, he's a veteran coach. I'm sure he knows his ball players. He has a lot of confidence in his defense. I think he has more confidence in the fact that he knows that he's going to be able to score some runs. So maybe that's why he's less worried than I might be.
Todd Paff singled to right, and a pinch hitter when he entered the game. The pitch bouncing in the dirt. Down to second base goes Winschittle. It'll be a wild pitch.
Here comes Kirby Smith again. That's his second trip. We're going to have a pitching change here.
No, wait a minute now. The first base umpire, Don Proctor, grabbed him. And he's explaining to Smith, do you realize the situation? Oh, wait a minute now. They're not going to let him go to the mound. They're not going to let him go to the mound. That's why Proctor grabbed him. He can't go to the mound. They won't let him get to the mound, Jim.
I don't understand that. You can do it twice in one inning, or at least I thought you could do it twice in one inning. But when you did, you had to make your pitching change.
Well, that is the ruling. They're explaining it to him now because, well, Smith isn't happy, I'll grant you that. So apparently, I don't know what it is.
Well, that would be
I don't have the rule book.
My interpretation, and I think I do have a rule book here in my packet, and I'll get it out and see if I can find it. But in the meantime, that may take me a moment.
Well, it'll be very interesting to get the clarification of this one, but see, Proctor was the first one that spotted it, and now Stoll wants the opinion of the second base umpire, Bill Taunton, as to what is transpiring here. Meanwhile, the third base umpire, who is Bob Taylor of Denver, stands with his hands on his hips behind the third base bag. Meanwhile, the pitcher, Peter Faith, is loosening up with his catcher, Dan Wilson. Jim, I'm not sure if it would be in that rule book or if it would be in the Sporting News official rule book.
It's probably not in this. I thought it might be listed in here.
Well, whatever it is, Smith is satisfied for the moment, although he is continuing to argue with Ty Cayley. And I don't know, I don't understand. There was a pitch thrown. Now Cayley is motioning toward the press box. He's going to call Jeff Stoll out now and explain it to him. Well, the discussion continues. I have no idea what's going on. Now, Les Johnson has come out, and he wants Don Proctor. Okay, what has happened here? Ty Cayley has come over and informed the press box that Kirby Smith has protested this game, and he wants a clarification. He has protested that particular rule, so before play continues, they're going to get the rule book out and look it up. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back to Johnson Park in 1 minute. The score is 7-4, Barrington over New Ulm. Well, the discussion continues. Ty Cayley, Matt Stukel now, who is in charge of this tournament, representing the American Legion. Ty Cayley, Matt Stukel, and Jeff Stoll had a conversation a moment ago. Meanwhile, the wind has changed directions now. It is now blowing from left to right, and it's picking up in intensity. Meanwhile,
and it's getting cooler.
Yes, it may be time for a jacket here. Well, I have no idea, Jim. I have no idea what the problem is.
Now, I think that at least when I coached American Legion baseball 2 years ago, the rule, as I understood it, was that you get 2 trips. The second trip that you make to cross the foul line to talk to your pitcher means the automatic removal of that pitcher from the ball game. And I thought Kirby Smith had seen enough. Maybe there has to be one pitch thrown in between, which there was. I think he well pitched it. It's ball 1. And as far as I can recall, Kirby Smith from Barrington, Illinois, has legitimate protest. But there may be a rule change that I'm not aware of.
All right, well, it's going to be a while before we get it going. Let's take another 60-second timeout. We'll be right back. The rule book now, so they're going to look it up apparently, and this will give us an opportunity. Let's run down the results of the whole tournament for you in case you have been gone or missed it. Game 1, day 1 on Wednesday, it was Oconomowoc, Wisconsin over Maynard, 7-6. Midland, Michigan beat Aurora, Indiana, 11-9. It was Barrington, Illinois over Hutchinson by the score of 8-6. And New Ulm beat State College of Pennsylvania 11-9. Then yesterday in day 2, Maynard of Ohio eliminated Hutchinson by the score of 14-5. State College of Pennsylvania eliminated Aurora, Indiana 13-2. In the winners bracket, it was Barrington, Illinois over Oconomowoc, Wisconsin 12-9. And New Ulm edged Midland, Michigan 3-2 in a game that started 12 minutes before midnight last night. Ended at 2:30 with a suspension due to rain. Resumed this morning at 9:30, and right now that seems like a week ago. And then this afternoon, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin sent State College, Pennsylvania home with a 10-8 victory. It was Midland, Michigan over Ohio, Maynard, Ohio, 10-5, eliminating them. And that brings us to where we are now, Barrington, Illinois, and New Ulm. And now Ty Cayley is looking at the press box. We'll see if we can pick it up.
It may be that the pitcher has to throw to one batter rather than one pitch. I think we will see momentarily if that's the case, because Todd Paff is coming up. Faith is staying in. There's ball 1 on him.
Which is the wild pitch that brought him out in the first place.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Now we're ready. Winshuttle on second. Faith delivers to Path in the dirt. Another pitch blocked by Wilson. And it is 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Jim, I'm willing to bet that's exactly it. Once Path does something here, I'm willing to bet we'll see Smith again. 2-0 to Todd Path. Excellent power. And the pitch is inside. It's 3-0. 1 on, nobody out. Path, the number 8 man in the batting order. New Ulm trying to stage a rally here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The pitch is a call strike, a fastball, and Path had no intention of swinging. 3-1. Now we've just been handed the rule book by Stan Wilford here. We'll get a clarification for you in a moment. The pitch on the way is inside, ball 4. Faith is on with a walk. Now let's see if Smith comes out. That is walk number 9. Here he comes. That will be the end of the line for Faith. And Jim, what is the interpretation?
Okay, I'll read the rule right here. It says, this rule limits the number of trips a manager or coach may make to any one pitcher in any one inning. A second trip to the same pitcher in the same inning will cause this pitcher's automatic removal. The manager or coach is prohibited from making a second visit to the mound while the same batter is at bat. If a pinch hitter is substituted for this batter, the manager or coach may make a second visit to the mound but must remove the pitcher. So what we said was right, Mark. He had to let the pitcher complete his throws to Path before he could remove him, and in this case it turns out that he walks Path. We have a scoring threat here for New Ulm with runners on first and second. Jim Leslie, the number 9 hitter, coming up.
And the new pitcher is Keith Noreen, the third baseman. And let's see who is at third base. Can we get a number there?
I think we can the next time he throws the ball.
All right, I think I know who that might be, Jim. I think it's Brad Sparsus. Brad Sparsus is now the defensive replacement at third base. He wears number 23. And Keith Noreen goes in to pitch, and let's see here.
Now playing third base, number 24, Brad Sparkus.
All right, well, that's it. Noreen is now the pitcher. Leslie is the batter. Noreen was the ace of the high school staff. Good fastball. He must keep it down to be effective. Has a good control of his curveball, and he starts Leslie off with a fastball in for a strike. He's also got a slider and a changeup. He pitched in the game against Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, going 3 innings, allowing 1 hit, struck out 1, walked 1 to pick up the win in the 12-9 win. Pitch is swung on and grounded near second base. The second baseman, Legashaw, picks it up and then doubles Leslie at first base for a 4-3 double play. Over to third goes Winshuttle, and a nice piece of relief pitching by Keith Noreen.
And a very nice stretch by the first baseman, number 22, who had to go to the catcher's side, the batter's side, to dig that out, and he was just on. the base.
Well, of course, Leslie helped him out by hitting it right back up the middle. Noreen, this will be his 16th appearance, 55 and 2/3 innings, 55 hits, 9 doubles, a homer, 31 runs, 18 earned, his ERA 2.26, 34 strikeouts, 22 walks. He delivers the first pitch to Brian Robbie low for ball 1. He's hit 5 batters, had 3 wild pitches, no balks. His record is 8-2. He's had 5 complete games, no shutouts, no saves. And the pitch is outside for ball 2.
He comes in and, by comparison, seems to throw very hard in comparison to Faith, the pitcher who preceded him.
And the pitch is a strike. Strike call to Brian Robbie. 2 balls and 1 strike. The runner on third still belongs to Faith. Pitch is swung on and grounded foul down the right field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Noreen here on in relief in the 8th inning. And Robbie trying to pick up Keith Winchell at third. New Ulm with the makings of a big inning, but of course the pitcher's best friend is that double play ball. And to the credit of Noreen, he induced Leslie into hitting one. And the pitch is outside, and it's 3-2. Chad Stoll would be next. New Ulm has not hit a home run in this tournament. They are due to do that. They may be the only team in the tournament that hasn't hit one.
Yeah, they are not a power team. There are a couple of players that could do it.
The payoff pitch, and Robbie almost hit by the pitch, and he takes ball 4. So Noreen issues his first walk, and that is the 10th off of Barrington pitching. So now you've got runners at the corners for Chad Stoll, who has popped out 3 times, once to the catcher, second baseman, and first baseman, and struck out. He is due. Throw to first, Robbie dives back in.
That is another thing that has amazed me during this tournament, the number of walks that have been given up by the pitching staffs of anybody that's played.
I would hate to go back and count them up. You might be here a while. You may need a calculator. Again, they check Robbie at first base, and he gets back.
You just anticipate that teams that have gotten here have had strong pitching.
Pitch to Stoll is swung on and foul back here. And it is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Throw to first, and Robbie getting back. Sparsus, by the way, would go into face spot in the batting order, which I believe is the number 8 slot. The 0-1 is inside to Stoll, and it is 0-2. Or, I'm sorry, 1-1 rather.
That wind has really picked up, blowing from left to right.
Runners at the corners, the 1-1 pitch, high and tight, 2-1.
If Stoll can get on base here, Aaron Allen, who is coming up next, batting in the number 3 position, has excellent power to the right side, and the way that wind is blowing, it could help him.
The 2-1 pitch, swung on, a little tapper off the mound. It's going to be a tough play for Levin. He feels the ball. Here's the throw. It is in time to get Chad Stoll. And a nifty piece of relief pitching by Noreen. And for New Ulm in the 8th inning, they come up with no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. And the score at the end of 8 is Barrington 7 and New Ulm 4. We have got a new pitcher. It is Bob Suller. So Stoll goes 2 2/3. And he faces 12 men. He allowed 1 run on 4 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 1. And the run that he surrendered was an earned run. So Bob Sullner, the third pitcher to be used by Jeff Stoll. Chad, by the way, goes back to third. And is there another defensive change, Jim?
Not that I can see.
I don't believe there would be. Except that Winshittle is out of the game, right?
Yes.
And the pitch is a strike, or did they put him back in right field? I don't believe they did. It is strike one to Keith Noreen, who is the pitcher who has grounded out, popped up, grounded out, and walked, and he's also scored a run. And the pitch from Sullner is a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's see what kind of information I can give you about Bob Sullner, who went to Cathedral High School. Misses with that pitch, and it is 2 balls and 1 strike. He has only thrown a third of an inning for this Legion team. That was at the state tournament. He faced 2 men, gave up a hit against Anoka. And a check swing. Did he go? And it is ruled a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He did most of his pitching for the VFW team. 27 innings, 15 runs, 11 earned, 23 hits, 28 strikeouts in 27 innings, 19 walks, an ERA at 2.85, and a record of 4-1. Fastball popped up, shallow center field. Jim Leslie calling for it, drifting toward right, makes the catch, 1 out. Sullner will challenge you. He's got a fastball that's not overpowering, has a good off-speed curveball, and very good control. He throws hard for somebody 5'9", 145, and just a sophomore.
I think Bobby Sullner is a pitcher of the future. He's very young. He had a knee injury that kept him from throwing a lot more on the VFW team this summer.
Well, he faces Dan Wilson, and the first pitch to him is ruled a strike.
He has a very good curveball, and Barrington is going to have to hit that in order to hit Bobby Sullner.
And a little tapper over second, fielded by Schmidt behind the bag, throws him out, 2 down. That brings up Mike Bradley, who's reached on an air, fly to right, singled and scored to drive in a run in the 6th inning, and then bounced out to Schmidt in the 7th. Sullner, by the way, would go into Keith Winshittle's spot in the batting order as we are in the top half of the 9th inning, and the pitch is swung on and grounded inside the third base bag and down the left field line by Mike Bradley, and Trauig will hold him to a single. So Bradley gets the first hit off of Sullner, and that is the 11th given up by New Ulm pitching. And Jim Evinger will step up here. Evinger has reached on an air and scored, struck out, tripled and scored, and grounded out. Right-hander against left-hander. Pitch is low. Runner goes. Here's the throw, and he'll be out by 10 feet. Yeah. What a throw by Aaron Allen. Scott Schmidt put the tag on Mike Bradley, and I mean, it wasn't even close. 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Barrington, Illinois 7, New Ulm 4. All right, we go now to the bottom half of inning number 9, and this is it for New Ulm. It's 3 runs here, or they will have a date with Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
At 1:35 tomorrow, is that?
Well, it'll be a lot earlier than we're used to. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's 1:35.
Did you get any sleep last night?
About an hour and a half. Aaron Allen will start things off. Noreen into the windup, and the first pitch is just off the outside corner for ball 1. Noreen did an outstanding job of relief pitching for Faith in the 8th inning. He came in with runners on first and second, nobody out, and got a double play ball. And he delivers the fastball outside, and it is quickly 2-0. Then he induced Stoll to ground out after he walked Robbie. 2-0 to Aaron Allen, and the pitch is a strike, a fastball. Allen, no intention of swinging. It is 2-1. Allen has bounced to short, struck out, reached on an air and scored, and grounded to second. The 2-1 offering. Ooh, that looked like a good pitch, but taken too low. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck, Scott Schmidt, Marshall Bloomer to follow. New Ulm needs 3 to tie here. That pitch on the way. Strike call. It's 3-2. Well, now the 3-2 situation is usually Allen's strong point. He'll generally move up in the box and look for the fastball. Fastball is swung on. He reached out and punched it down the right field line, but it is hooking way foul.
I think that for this kid, Aaron has probably positioned himself adequately. I think you're going to see more fastballs from Noreen and a lot more breaking pitches from Faith, the pitcher preceding him.
The 3-2 pitch is just off the outside corner. Ball 4. Noreen thought he had it, but it will go as a walk. Number 11 off of the pitchers tonight from Illinois. And boy, generally you walk 11 people for New Ulm, but they're going to hurt you.
Yes, you are. Or yes, they are. Yeah, that I commented about that earlier, Mark. Giving up 11 walks, and I think New Ulm has 6 or 7 hits. And I'm surprised that we only have 4 runs on that basis. We just have not delivered at the right times this evening.
That's right, and of course New Ulm has committed 4 errors in crucial times as well. Otherwise, it may not be a 3-run deficit now. Well, here's Scott Schmidt. A single, a walk, a fly out, and a ground ball for that guy tonight, and a fastball backs him away, and it's ball 1. Marshall Bloomer would be next. And the pitch on the way. Strike, fastball on the inside part of the plate. 1-1. Grandstand umpires disagree. And the pitch. Fastball up and away. 2-1.
Barrington pitchers know how to pitch. They come inside, then they go outside, then they go low, then they go up.
2-1 pitch is ripped toward the gap in right center. It'll go all the way to the fence. Aaron Allen is being waved around third. He will score. Schmidt's at second with a double. It's 7-5, and there's still nobody out. Aaron. For the visitors on the scoreboard, which will be Barrington, Illinois. Leading off and playing at shortstop will be Mark Levine. Batting second in right field is John Bowser. Batting third at third base, Keith Noreen. Behind the plate and catching is Dan Wilson. Out in center field is Mike Bradley. In the number 6 position...